Okay, everybody. So, welcome to my impromptu Zoom call. Thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to share with you the nuggets that I took away from this new leader conference. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. The people, the coaches on this call who have been to Summit, you know how exciting it can get when you go to these things and you're just surrounded by all this amazing energy. And all of the coaches who are totally into this business all together and are also excited about being there. And then, of course, the mentors that that we learn from, and they're all right there to talk to. I'm just gonna mute just so there's no background noise, because right now I'm probably not gonna. If anybody wants to say, interrupt, or ask a question, just raise your hand, because I'm so excited to share all of this with you. Still here? Okay. So I have a ton of notes. So I was looking through them all because I really don't think if I read all of the notes to you, it would probably take all night. So, I mean, I was sitting there scribbling the entire time because I wanted to capture everything that was being said. And I want to give you guys an idea of what it's like to be there, not just what I learned, because whenever you go to these events, whether it be Summit, whether it be a Success Club trip, or these leadership conferences, it really is amazing the energy that you have, and all of the activities that are all going on that Beachbody provides to you. So there's a whole agenda when you arrive there. Everybody's all excited, and everyone's so friendly. I mean, it's not like when you go to a place where you don't know somebody, where you don't know people, and you're really uncomfortable because nobody's talking to you. Everyone is just friendly and welcoming. I did wind up, I went by myself, and I was a little uncomfortable because I didn't go with anyone, but I did wind up meeting people, and they were so friendly. So you should never not go to something because you're not going with someone, because you're going by yourself, because in this kind of an environment, everyone is so warm and just wants to be all part of this big team together. And so I met coaches who I'm friends with on Facebook, and they invited me to join them. I hung out the first night. They had they really fed us the whole time. I got there and I had a little time before it started, so I went out by the pool. It was a beautiful hotel, and hung out by the pool there. And then when it started, it was for a few hours, the opening session, and then they broke and we wound up having a cocktail hour. It was really like hors d'oeuvres, but it was really like dinner because they had a whole buffet of sushi. It was a whole sushi table, unlimited sushi. So needless to say, I wasn't really sticking to the Master's Hammer and Chisel nutrition very well. There was a bar there with wine and beer, unlimited, and then there was a whole salad bar and everything. So they treat you really well. It's just I wanted to kind of give you the feel of what it's like. And then the next morning, it was the workout with Tony Horton. And they gave us each a shirt when we first arrived, a 22-minute hardcore shirt for us to wear. And it was amazing being there with him. Oh, and he was at the party the night before, taking pictures with people. So that was exciting. And so the workout was incredible. You're going to love this workout because I didn't know if I was really going to like it from the video. I loved it. It was so much fun, and I worked up such a sweat. And then I got that great, I don't know if you guys all saw, but I got a great picture with Tony because he's so great. He really takes his time to try to get everybody who wants a picture with him. And then right after that was a breakfast buffet and Shakeology, and that's when I tried the cafe latte. It was so incredible. I mean, everyone should try this flavor. It was so good. I think this is going to be my new favorite. I just ordered a packet, the box of packets, and the 30-day supply bag, so I can give out some packets. And then after the buffet, the breakfast buffet, and that's where I sat with Allie from the call. If you saw the Zoom call, I saw her at the buffet, and I was like, oh my God, are you Allie? And she's like, yeah. You know, it was just so funny. And she was very modest and flattered by the way that I was like going on and on about how she was so awesome on the call the other night. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for saying that. You know, she was like really, really flattered by that. Like she doesn't hear that often because she's basically a new coach also. So it's the perspective that you see these coaches who are, you know, mentoring or sharing how they're reaching success, and you think that they are so much higher than you are in this business. But a lot of them aren't. Like she isn't. You know, she's basically kind of new and she's just getting started and she's following her upline coach who was Megan. And so this was her first time at a leadership conference. She was very sweet and, you know, I picked her brain and asked her a bunch of questions. So that was really cool. And then I went back to the room to change and the whole session started. And just the energy and the aha moments that I've taken away that I want to share with all of you was just so incredible. And then, of course, later that night, we wound up having a whole dinner, and that was a lot of fun, too. You know, and we had lunch. They provided us with a whole lunch buffet. It was fajitas, a whole fajita bar with all the toppings and shrimp, beef, chicken, everything. So they really treat you well when you go to these things. It's just so nice to have that kind of recognition. And they gave us each a gift. The backpack, I took a video and posted it on our page, so that was fun too. So that's kind of like a snapshot of the whole experience. But now I'm going to get into like the nitty-gritty of the information that I took away. And like I said, I have a whole book. I'll show you. I bought this book and I filled up, I think, half of it. It starts over here. Here. And I filled up the entire book with notes. And it was funny because the other coaches around me weren't really writing at all. And I was like going like this. So I was just wondering, like, did they think they're just going to remember it all? I wanted to capture every word. And I'm glad that I did, because now I can share it with you. And otherwise I wouldn't have been able to remember everything that they all said. So it started out with Carl Daikeler, of course, being introduced. And it was his normal, amazing speaker. So inspirational. Every time I've seen this man speak, he just got me going. I mean, by the time he was done, I was so pumped up. I was so fired up. He came out and he's so down to earth. You know, he like totally relatable, and he's hysterical. You know, he makes a lot of jokes. So basically, he was sharing with us all about how he was really frustrated and boggled because he had just met with someone, this man, he couldn't name the name of the company, but he was the owner or CEO of a company that is $1 million company. And he couldn't name the name of the brand, but he said we would all know it. It's very well known. And the company isn't doing very well. It should be $1 billion company the way Beachbody is. And so the CEO of the company was wanting to see if Carl was interested in buying the company from him. And so Carl sat there and was like asking him all these questions about the brand, about the product that they were making. And this other man was going on and on and on, talking all about what he's done, what he was planning on doing, and all the projections that in the business that he had been doing in the past. And not one time, Carl said, did this man ever mention anything about how his product helps people. He never talked about what it does for people. It was all about money. It was all about business. And not once did he say anything about what it does to change people's lives. And Carl said that he was hysterical. He was basically saying how he was about to fall asleep. He had to like keep on looking around the room, looking at his bobblehead collection to try to stay awake. And he was just saying that this guy was boring him to death because all he was doing was talking business. And what excites Carl is the idea of changing lives and helping people. So his message to us was that wealth creation is very possible when you solve a problem for people. And that's what we need to all be focusing on. Not money, not rank, but on helping people. And when it comes from the heart, when our intention of doing this business and talking to people and offering them to let us help them and inviting them to our challenge groups, when all of that is coming from our heart because we sincerely want to help them, we will be successful. And I believe that every single person on this team is here because you want to help people. And that's where you are going to see amazing success in your business, and why it's going to be so rewarding for you on so many levels, including financial. Because the people who come from the heart are the people who are going to really reap the rewards on every level, including income. So that was his point in telling that story. And so basically, he was saying that he is relentless. He is, everyone that knows him says that he's the most relentless person that they've ever met. And Jeff Hill then came out and vouched for that, that when Carl wants something, he gets it. And Autumn had said that when she was on the call that time talking about Masters Hammer and Chisel, that he was set on that name and he was going to bat and wanted that name and he got it. He's relentless when it comes to wanting what he wants to help people in his business. He's going to make it happen. And that's what Carl was saying that we need to be, that we need to be relentless, that we are unstoppable, that no matter what, because he's failing forward, he's comparing it to us to him, that he's never done this before. He's never been $1 billion business before. And so he made mention about the Success Club trip, about how, he goes, I'm so sorry to everybody who had to keep on hitting refresh, and didn't wind up getting on. He said, we've never done this before, and obviously we're going to improve and things will be different. He talked about the warehouse situation. He talked about, how he's improving. He was saying that, that he has 250 employees in technology right now. They started with like 20. They have 250, and because they're working so hard on getting us the best technology for the Coach Online office, the whole Coach Online office is being refurbished. They're also giving us a new shopping platform so that it'll be easier for our customers to shop. And John Congdon had made mention that when someone orders something, then there'll be other options coming up as ideas for them that they may want to order as well. And there'll be a whole new shopping platform that they'll be able to add more things on without a problem, and it won't be as confusing for them. And then also, they just moved to this new fulfillment center that's much bigger than what it was. And that's why there were so many problems going on in the last couple of months during the holidays, and shipments were taking forever, is because they were just moving. And he said, but now they're set and they can accommodate so much more than they were able to before. So we should see a major improvement. And now they're capable of sending out many more different items at the same time. So basically, when he was saying all of this, he was comparing it to us and saying how no matter how much we fail, we have to be relentless because we're failing forward as long as we learn from it. We try something, it doesn't work, then do something different. You invite a certain way, it's not working. You try a particular challenge group, it fails. Don't stop. Don't just give up. Learn that this isn't the right one for you and keep going and learn what is going to be right for you. But you're never going to learn until you do fail. So that's a whole process. We each have this journey. Don't let it discourage you when something doesn't work for you, or when you're not getting the yeses that you were expecting, or when someone says yes and you're all excited and then they flake on you, which I've had a lot of lately myself. But you can't let it get to you. I mean, no matter how frustrated or disappointed I get, not once do I ever even contemplate the notion of giving up, or that this business isn't right for me, or that I'm just not good at this. No, because we all go through it. No matter how high this coach was in this business, Melanie Mitro, top coach 2 years in a row, said that she went through the same thing. Everyone goes through it, and you just can't give up. It's the ones that don't give up, the ones that keep on being relentless and saying to themselves, I'm making this happen, I'm doing this, and I'm going to succeed, are the ones that do wind up making it. So that was his message, to be relentless like him. Then Jeff Hill came on, and he was talking about that this is a journey for everybody. Why not you? Success leaves clues. That's like an expression that some of the top coaches have mentioned that stuck with them, to, listen to the top coaches, and the things that keep on resonating with you, take to heart, because those things must mean something for you. So think of them as clues or signs and start using them for your own business. This is one that I took away that was really cool. Good, this is a book. Good is the enemy of great. Going from good to great. And this is one of my aha moments, and I'm going to share with all of you. My life is good right now. I work for a very large company. I've been there for almost 13 years. Great benefits, very stable, and it pays the bills. But good is the enemy of great, because so many people just they settle for good, even though they can have a great life. This isn't great to me. Great would be financial freedom, being able to do what I want, being able to spend my time the way I want, being home with my kids, being able to determine my own schedule. And I'll never have great if I don't settle for good. And the way that I've been building my business, it's been moving along slowly, but not fast enough for my satisfaction. I want to be home with my kids before my middle son graduates high school. I want him to have some of his experience of his being at home with me, not being gone all the time. So I've made the decision that I'm going to take the plunge, and I'm going to make this business full-time very soon. I haven't decided on the date yet, but very soon, sooner than I had anticipated before going to this conference, because anything that is worth great is worth the risk. And I'm just decided I'm doing it, because that's what I need to do in order to really give myself the opportunity to live my dream. I'm not telling all of you to do that. I'm saying this was a personal thing that I decided. This is one of my takeaways, is I'm going to read that book, and I think everyone should read this book, the Good to Great book, because it sounds like it has a lot of great, really important lessons in it. But I could see how good can be the enemy of great, because people just get, lazy, and they figure, oh, my life is fine, and they just leave it like that instead of really going for great. Another thing that's in that book is confront the brutal facts. Take a look at your business and at yourself, and really see what you're doing, what is working, what isn't working, and what changes need to be made. And this isn't a bad thing, because everybody could use improvement. And if your business isn't going the way you want it to go, then it's important to really confront the brutal facts, look at your business and look and see what's not going well, and what you need to do different. And then one of the things that a quote that Jeff Hill had said was, this is actually called a specific quote that's a famous quote. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was called the Stockdale Paradox. And I never lost faith in the end of my story. So basically, it's retain the faith that you will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. No matter how difficult your situation is or how difficult you have it in your efforts to make the success that you want in this business, have faith that no matter how difficult it is, no matter how much more effort and failure that you need to put into this, that have faith that in the end you will succeed. And don't ever, ever lose faith in that. And then the hedgehog concept. Instead of spreading yourself thin by chasing all of the bright, shiny objects, which there are so many in this business, you know, you see all the other coaches doing all these other things. You see the blogs, the websites, the Pinterest, the Instagram, you know, just so many different things that everybody else is doing, and you think that you have to do it all. You don't. Focus on the one thing that you are good at, because everybody is good at something. Melanie Mitro isn't great at everything. Might be better at some things than she is. And the same thing with all of you. Everyone has their own unique qualities that make you different from everyone else, and your strengths. So look and see what things you are good at and focus on those, and put blinders on, and don't think that you have to do everything to be successful, because you really don't. Ask yourself to discover your strengths. What are you deeply passionate about? What do you do well? What drives your economic engine? What do you do best? Ask yourself these questions in order to determine what are your strengths and focus on those. And then after you have the clarity on what your strengths are, then focus on your BAG, he called it, BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. So you don't want just a little goal. You know, you've seen those quotes saying that if your dreams aren't big enough, or if their dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough, right? Sage, I think you posted that recently. And that's so true. So that's what they said, to make sure that your dreams are big, hairy, and audacious, that they scare you to death, because that's what you need. And to get past your comfort zone and focus on something that is huge, because that's what you're going to wind up getting. If you focus on small, you'll get small. Focus on big. My mom and I used to have this expression when we used to do sales: think big. When you talk to people, instead of, or when you're like negotiating for a pay rate, or you know, a job, and you're talking your salary, you have to think big, because if you think small, you're going to get small. And then of course you ask yourself, what am I doing that's giving me that little bit extra when I do my 3 vital behaviors? So we all know that in order to be successful in this business, it's really not difficult at all. It's given to us over and over and over again. It's not difficult to do. It's just whether you choose to do it. And it's easy to do, and it's easy not to do, just like Jeff Olson says in The Slight Edge. And basically it's those 3 vital behaviors: inviting consistently every single day to either Shakeology, your challenge group, or the business. Every single day, at least 3, preferably 5 or more every day. Being a product of the product, just like you would be teaching your challengers to do. Focusing on that workout calendar and sticking to it, just like you teach your challengers. Not taking the day off, not even having that thought in your head that it's even an option to take the day off, because you are leading by example, and this is your business. So by you being a product of the product and showing people what it looks like to do these challenges, that's going to help your business, because you're showing people what to expect by following you. So you're the example, you're the inspiration to get people to want to do something about their health. So being a product of the product, and then of course your personal development is so important, because that's what's going to get you through the times where you start having those, negative tapes that you're used to thinking in the past coming back and rearing their ugly head. You need to focus on the positives and on the personal development that's going to get you past that, so that you say to yourself, I'm not listening to the old tapes because that's not me anymore. I'm focusing on what I want and just ramming right past those. So that's what personal development is going to do for you. So those 3 vital behaviors, as long as you do those every single day, and never give up, you will make it in this business no matter how long it takes. So as you can see, I'm so passionate because I left this conference with my head was spinning with so much information, and I don't want to take up your whole evenings, guys. There's just so much here that I could share with you, and I don't want to go through every single thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what my biggest takeaways were, and then if anybody wants to ask any questions at all, I'll be very happy to answer them. Now, like I said, I heard from Michelle Myers. She started out and she was awesome. All 3 of them were awesome. Michelle Myers is hysterical. She's got a great personality. I'll just give you a little tidbits on what each one of them said. Basically, she was talking about creating mindsets, which obviously everything is about mindset, how you're thinking about your business, how you're thinking about your life, and the things that you want in your life is going to determine how consistent and how disciplined and how committed you are in your business. So always be starting off your day with the main mindset of thinking of the dream life that you want, your deep why, your emotional why of what you want as your reality for your life, and wake up every morning with that picture in your mind and tell yourself, I'm going to get that. I'm going to take one more step towards that today and do the things that you know is going to get you there. So creating mindsets and systems that are creating leaders. And that's what Ellen and I are doing with all of you, is that we want to help you be leaders in your own teams. And that's what we are both going to help you do. And so I learned a lot of techniques and things to help you all become leaders, which I'm going to share with Ellen in a private conversation. But that's what we are here to help you guys do. And as long as you follow our lead, then you guys are going to be the leaders in your own team, going to leadership next year and talking to your teams about how to duplicate the system so that you can help them be leaders. So she creates that culture of ownership instead of accountability. And she gave some examples of how we can create ownership rather than accountability. And then she talked a lot about recruiting coaches and the quality of coaches, because we all know that coaches come and go, and the ones that stay are the quality ones that really see the vision in this business, that really feel the purpose in this business of wanting to help people and seeing that we have everything that people need, and valuing that and recognizing that there is no other company like this, that we really have it all, and wanting to do our best, to be our best, grow as people so that we can help others the best that we can. And like I said, it's all a journey, but basically she said the biggest difference between top performers and average performers is a sense of purpose. Because it's not what we sell, it's what we stand for. And the bait that we use in recruiting coaches is going to determine the quality of the coaches that we bring in. So if we're just out there talking to people about wanting to make a quick buck, like I've seen some coaches I talk about just wanting to make money overnight or something like that, which we know that that's not what this is about, then you're going to get coaches that are expecting that, and they're going to leave as soon as they see that it's not going to happen overnight or that it takes real work. And that's not what we want. We don't want a revolving door of coaches. We want quality coaches that are going to stay and that we're going to build teams with. So when we're recruiting coaches, we want to lead with the purpose, the purpose of wanting to build a long-term business, of wanting to help people, of, letting them know right off the bat what we're expecting. That's why the last post that I made was I let them know I want people who are willing to work and be committed and are teachable. So if you're using cheap bait, you're not going to recruit the good coaches. And she said, when you bait people with purpose, they're not going to go anywhere. So you need people who are attached to a purpose. And she recommended the book Start With Why with Simon Sinek. People act because of either manipulation or inspiration. So if they join on inspiration, they will stay. Products create revenue. People create passion. That's what she said. And then she said, we need to have 2 core beliefs to be successful. Our company makes a difference, and I make a difference. And if you believe that, then you will be successful. And lead with love and humility. Love expands, fear contracts. And so lead with that passion and that wanting to help people. And then you'll never go wrong. Because the right people who are really ready will understand that that's where you're coming from. And then she, all 3 of these top coaches talked a lot about Success Club, because that is the whole driving force in this business, making Success Club, because it's really not points, it's lives. Every time you make success points, you're changing lives. And so what she does with her team, which I thought was a great idea, she recognizes everyone regardless of number of points. Any number of points are being recognized. And also she created, instead of Success Club, she calls it the Changing Lives Club, which I thought was pretty cool. It's got a much better connotation to it. Okay, so that was her. And then Melanie Mitro, I just feel like I don't want to make this call too long, because you probably all have other things that you need to do. But Melanie Mitro had a lot of aha takeaways that I took away. She got a lot into her very own personal techniques of how she runs her business. And then she also, how she recruits with a purpose, her strategy in order to attract the right people. She doesn't just post for everybody and hope that it's going to hit some people. She has a very strategized target audience, and she has it written up. She said that she has chosen 5 or 6 attributes that make her unique. And she has them written up on something right in front of her desk. And that is the type of coach that she wants to attract. And that is who she creates her posts for. She doesn't care if everybody likes her. She doesn't want everybody to like her. She doesn't care what anybody thinks of her, except for the coaches that she's trying to attract. So all of her posts that she posts, all of her invitations and all of her events, everything that she creates, is her blogs, everything is based on talking to people who are just like her. And she winds up getting all these people who reach out to her and say, I feel like you were talking to me. You sound just like me. That's exactly how I feel. And so that, each one of you are so unique in your own way. And that is what one of the things I took away from is that I was doing that before. I was just posting, hoping that someone would like one of my posts, instead of really creating my posts to be targeted to someone who is just like me. So that's one of the things that I need to work on when I have more time, which I will soon. But, because there when I'm only working a couple of hours a day, I have so many different ideas of things I want to do. So that's one of the reasons why I can't wait to go full time, so I can finally put them into place. But even if you're not working full time, you can still do these things. You just have to kind of be a little bit more focused and target oriented with writing a list of exactly what thing you're going to do each day and stay focused on doing that. That's another thing Melanie Mitro said. She used to scroll Facebook all the time, and by the time her kids woke up from their nap, she did nothing, no inviting. So now she knows exactly what she's going to do before she starts her day. She said, either you run your day or your day will run you. And she has a very specific list of the tasks that she's going to accomplish that day. She does those first. And then if she has any extra time, then she rewards herself with scrolling Facebook. That's her reward. So until those things are done, she doesn't scroll. She does nothing other than her tasks that she has written down that she's getting done that day. And of course, you don't want to write a whole bunch for one day because it's unrealistic. So I think she said, take 3 things from your whole mind dump on a list of everything you want to do, and take 3 things and get them done. Of course, invites is always number 1. And then any follow-ups. Even if she's inviting, if she's getting responses from her invites, she doesn't respond to them until she's done with all of her invites. She gets that done, and then she'll follow up with people. So basically, Melanie Mitro really did say a lot. She went into her system of exactly how she schedules her month, which we can get into another time. She talks about leading business opportunity calls, which is very important, which I want to start doing as well. Recruit to succeed. You know, she talked about everything is all about Success Club. So you really need to teach. Oh, this is one of the big aha things I took away. She said this business is so simple. In order to be as successful as you want to be, it's about just doing 2 things and doing them over and over and over again. Recruiting coaches and teaching them to make Success Club, and repeat over and over and over again. Recruiting coaches, teaching them to make Success Club. Success Club is what it's all about. So that by itself should be a non-negotiable for every single one of you. And I know that some months it's a struggle, even when you're being consistent, but you'll see that even if you're consistent every single day, inviting 10 people every single day, and you're really struggling to make even Success Club 1, you'll see that if you just continue to do that, in 2 months or in 3 months, it's going to happen naturally every single month. Because I've heard other top coaches say that the invites that they're inviting now are planting seeds that are going to pop in a couple of months from now. So don't get discouraged. Even if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and inviting every single day and it's not happening for you this month, you're just getting started being consistent. Don't stop, because in 2 months from now, you're going to feel that momentum and all of those seeds popping, and then you'll understand why it's so important to stay consistent. So Success Club will be non-negotiable for you as long as you stay consistent every day. That C word is the most important thing in this business. Being consistent with your workouts, with your Shakeology, with your personal development, and with your invites every single day. All right, so I'm just going to go now to the aha things, pieces of information, because I guess I should probably tell you a couple of things that Bonnie Engel said too. Bonnie Engel was saying that to keep things simple, keep things consistent, and she said it begins and ends with Success Club. That's what Bonnie Engel said. And for all of you who don't know who she is, she was where I sat last year. She was a 2-star diamond, and she didn't know much. She said she felt like she didn't even belong there. She, was not very experienced. And now she's one of the top 10 coaches in the company. And it's just, I think she's 15-star. I'm pretty sure. It's incredible what she did in the course of 1 year. So just realize that 1 year can make such a huge difference in your business, because she said she left there and she was just determined to make this business happen. And you can all do the same thing. You just need to have that determination. But what she said was it begins and ends with Success Club. You make Success Club every single month, and you will wind up teaching your coaches to make Success Club every single month, and your business will grow like you won't believe. So she said recruiting is fun. Change your mindset to feel like it's really fun. Make 3 lists at the start of each month. 1, all of your challengers, all the people in your current groups. Reach out to each one twice during the challenge, asking them about coaching. 2, all of your no's, all the people that you need to follow up with who have said no to you. She said nobody ever leaves her list, no matter how many times they've said no. She always follows up with them. It might not be the next week, but she still never takes them off her list, because you never know. People's situations change. And then 3, her prospects, people who she thinks would be a great coach or challenger. So those are the 3 lists that she makes at the start of each month, and then post 3 to 5 times per day, 1 time per day about the business. Every day. Melanie Mitro said the same thing. And that was another aha moment I took away, because I don't invite every single day to the business at all. So now I'm going to start inviting every single day, and they post daily about the business. She answers objections publicly. So whenever she gets an objection, she'll post about that. People might think that this is this, but this is what it really is. So she overcomes people's objections by posting about it from the forefront. And then sharing about the highlights of coaching and making it your own reality show. Explain to people what it's like to be on my team. She said make your social media like a public sneak peek into coaching. What were you scared of before signing? You could talk about that. What are the most common misconceptions? And be clear about your expectations of them and what kind of leader you will be. Don't be afraid to tell people what I want. Someone who wants to work hard, which is what I did. And then, and basically, so that's her, basically it's all create Success Club culture. Immerse your team in Success Club, saturate your team with recognition. And then she creates Success Club pods in small groups, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. So I was thinking of, I wanted to talk to you about it, Ellen, creating another smaller group just for Success Club. And then the Team Cup. That's why I'm so excited about us doing the Team Cup, because she does it as a team with all of the entire team. Even though you have to divide into teams of 5, technically, we can still all work together to succeed as a team in the Team Cup. So I'm excited. I really would like to start doing more Zoom calls regularly. Maybe pick up a few things like Allie and Megan were doing, and just like decide last minute, we're online, so let's do a Zoom. Whoever's on, come join us and just do a power hour or a power 15 minutes. But I really want us to get together more often on Zoom and be a tighter knit team and really help each other succeed. So I'm excited about the Team Cup, and I just wanted to see if I missed anything. I think I shared all of my takeaways that made a huge difference. Does anybody have any questions? Sage, you're so funny. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody.
I missed what Sage do. I missed it.
She posted a question. So is Success Club really important?
It came up a couple times.
Success Club is huge. That's going to determine how far you go in your business.
I have a question, a real question.
Yes.
Good is the enemy of great. Did they mention an author?
He did. And I think I wrote it down in my other book. Let me see if I can. I'll find it and send it. I'll post it on the page.
Okay.
But Jeff Hill had mentioned it, and he actually mentioned a couple of books.
I couldn't find it on Audible, and Kindle has something different.
Oh, really? I will find it.
Gracias.
I will definitely find it and send it to, I'll post it on the page because I want to get it myself.
I have a question, Bonnie.
Yes.
At what point do you switch over from or think that your customer client should become a coach? If they're talking about how expensive the product is, are we supposed to then tell them that they could be a coach, a discount coach?
Yes.
So that it's, we don't lose them.
Yes, exactly. In fact, a lot of times when I'm first talking to, most times when I'm first talking to a prospect and I'm sharing with them about joining my challenge group and explaining all of the benefits that they'll be getting from it, after they do say that they want to do it, then I do give them the option at that time. I say, and if you want to save about $18 a month on your Shakeology, you can sign up as a discount buyer coach. It's really a VIP customer because there's no obligation to do the business, but if you're interested, then it is a great way to earn an extra income, but you'll save money every month on your Shakeology. And then I'll ask them, is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Okay.
So yeah, and if you hadn't done that and you signed them up already, it's not too late. If she's saying it's expensive, then of course, you want to explain to her that it's in place of a meal and it has all of that nutrition, so it's actually really great value. And most meals cost way more than $4.33 and way less nutritious. But then you can also say, and there is a way to save money on it if you want to get signed up as a discount buyer coach. And if she says yes, then I always say to her, and would you be interested in the business opportunity? It's a great way to earn an extra income if it's something that you would like. Otherwise, if she says no, then you say, okay, there's no obligation for that, but it's there if you ever decide that you want to.
Okay. And the other thing that I'm running into a lot of is Amazon selling all these products, like the 21-day.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, people are saying, oh, I already have the containers. I already have the 21-day, the DVDs. And
right. But they don't have the coaching.
Shakeology and you don't have a coach.
Right.
And
that's the coaching or the group support.
Yeah, Alicia, if you want them to switch to you, and then even if they don't purchase anything right away, they might eventually want Shakeology. Because I have a friend who just had the program. She wasn't really doing it, and then the support got her really into it, and now she wants the Shakeology too. So you could join people in your groups that switch to you as a free member, free Beachbody coach. I'm not coach, customer. Mm-hmm. Even if they got it through Amazon, it's just another way of getting them. Okay. Support.
Yeah, and when they're in the group, they'll see a lot of exposure about Shakeology, so then they may say, I should probably try that.
Right.
It's just getting them the results. Once they start seeing the results, even a week or two in, they're just excited that they're actually doing it this time.
I do usually first ask them if they want to get signed up, to give Shakeology a try because they'll get better results with doing the program. And then, have me listed as their coach and I plug them into the challenge group. If they say no, then I'll still say, well, if you still want, I'll still, invite you into my challenge group so you can get the group support, and I'll still help you to get the best results. But first, I'll try to see if they'll get signed on, officially with me with Shakeology at least.
That's the route that I'm going. Like I was saying to the girls last night on our call, everything, is invite. And I'm like, use. Like, let's use Shakeology and then, sell the challenge pack. Because I've been saying for $10 more, you get the whole thing.
Yeah. I very rarely just sell or have someone sign on with Shakeology, because for $10 more, it's ridiculous not to get a challenge pack, even if it's the club membership, or whatever's on sale that month. But, it really makes a lot of sense to get the challenge pack. So I'll always go that route first.
Do we know what's going to be on sale for February? Are they keeping it?
They usually wait until the day before, and then the diamonds get first dibs at knowing, and then we share it with you.
Okay.
So I'll probably get notice on the 30th or 31st of the month, and I post it on the page as soon as I find out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bonnie, I looked up information about the book, so it is good to great.
Yes.
And one of the lines in the book is that good is the enemy of great. So it's good to great, James Collins.
Right. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions? All right, I'm going to end the call by sharing something that Jeff Hill had told us about. And this is, I believe, part of the book, Good to Great. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jim Collins. I actually had it right up here. And this is a little excerpt from the book, how this is an example of this analogy comes from a disciplined world-class athlete named Dave Scott, who won the Hawaii Ironman triathlon 6 times. In training, Scott would ride his bike 75 miles, swim 20,000 meters, and run 17 miles on average every single day. Dave Scott did not have a weight problem, yet he believed that a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet would give him an extra edge. So Dave Scott, a man who burned at least 5,000 calories a day in training, would literally rinse his cottage cheese to get the extra fat off. Now, there is no evidence that he absolutely needed to rinse his cottage cheese to win the Ironman. That's not the point of the story. The point is that rinsing his cottage cheese was simply one more small step that he believed would make him just that much better. One more small step added to all the other small steps to create a consistent program of super discipline. So Jeff Hill would refer to that saying, what is your rinsing of your cottage cheese? What is your little bit extra or little special something that you do in addition to your 3 vital behaviors, in addition to your normal consistent behaviors that is going to build your business? What is that extra small something that you do that's going to get you even more success? So I think if nobody has any more questions, then I'll end the call. So I'm so happy that I was able to share with all of you. Thank you all for coming on. And
Thanks for sharing all that great info.
you're welcome, and I can't wait for all of you to be at the New Leader Conference next year, so you can share with me what you learned. All right, guys, have a great night. And we're going to register. We have 15 now participants for the Team Cup. So we're going to split everyone into 3 teams, and we'll post it on the page. If anybody wants to volunteer to be a captain, I think Amy might have volunteered. Kristen, do you know?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. So Amy will be the captain of 1. If anybody else wants to oh, well, actually, I guess I can be the captain of 1, and Ellen, you want to be the captain of 1?
Okay, sure.
You can only have 1 diamond on each team. So, all right, so then we'll split up the teams and post them on the page, and then we'll just need to think of team names so that we can register everybody. All right, so we're going to have a great month of February, but January is not over, guys. So you've got, what, 4 days left. You can still make it happen.
We're trying.
All right.
I got a lot of no's, so if we're going for no, I think I'd beat it.
I'm winning.
Well, so am I.
Let's count up our no's.
Yes, it's a tough time, but don't take them off your list. Just keep going next. Keep going to the next one. But we're going to start doing Zoom call power hours because I really like that idea.
The live one, I like that.
Yeah.
Me
But
too.
keep on staying consistent these last 4 days. I mean, increase your number of invites because you never know when the next yeses are going to come. And you're going to reach those people who are totally waiting for someone like you to ask them because they're really in need of help right now. So keep it going, guys. You're doing great.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.